our athletes are Jewish. They've had to make a decision about whether or not to compete on Saturdays.
Race and break Shabbat, or not to race and not break Shabbat.
Do it for the Jewish people. You need to run. I cared because he was letting the team down, the school down, my family down.
But they don't want to live a lie.
What time is it?
Ready, set, go.
In the fall of 2021, the cross-country team at the Charles E. Smith Jewish Day School in Rockville, Maryland, hoped it was their year to win a state championship.
125, finish strong through the line.
So they were stunned when one of their stars, junior Oliver Ferber, told them he had no choice but to skip the state championship race.
It wasn't like, oh, I'm not gonna be at practice tomorrow. It was like, oh, I'm not racing the most important race of the season. So that was the most shocking part.
In the early days of the COVID pandemic, Oliver had discovered a new passion for his Judaism. So his decision was about Shabbat, the Hebrew word for the Sabbath, a holy day of rest, which lasts from Friday night to Saturday night each week.
Kind of like a day removed from the world. You don't drive, you don't cook food, you don't flick on, you don't use electricity really, you don't flick on the lights or things like that.
The students at Oliver's school observe Shabbat with different levels of intensity. And Oliver's strict observance conflicted with the state championship, which was always held on a Saturday morning.
He is the first runner of his stature who has taken the position that he is not comfortable exerting effort on Shabbat, and that was the reason that he chose not to compete.
We've been building this whole season towards this ultimate goal, and here you are just about to throw this all away for all of us.
When I first brought up, and I was like, oh, but maybe I'll still let's watch you guys the race, you know what I mean? One of my friends is like, no, just if you're not gonna race, don't show up, no one wants to see your face.
What did your parents think?
My mom, definitely, she wanted me to race.
I mean, I thought he was gonna run, he had to run. It wasn't really a choice. It's a Jewish school that can win a state championship. I'm like, do it for the Jewish people. I just felt like he joined this team, he had to run.
And it was super tough. I cried a few times. It was a really big decision. I was really stressed out.
Even as those closest to him struggled to understand his decision, Oliver stood strong in his convictions and would not compromise. On the day of the state championship, Oliver walked to the race site and stood apart, watching his teammates pull off an upset win by 3 points without him.
Everyone was treating him like, okay, you made a decision not to be a part of it, so you're not a part of it. And I kind of felt like he was a little bit ostracized because of that.
He was very happy for us and everything, but something did feel a little bit off.
Not long after the race, Oliver and his coach began thinking about next season, Oliver's senior year, and how they might avoid being in the same situation again. They came up with an idea. Oliver would write a letter to the race organizer, explaining how he felt.
Dear Mr. Dudson, one aspect of Judaism that religious Jews such as myself follow is the concept of Shabbat.
It was just nice to hear that he was excited about running, and the fact that he hadn't been able to was kind of disappointing.
I felt extraordinarily depressed and anxious. Those days were the most stressful ones I've experienced in my life. It would mean the world to be able to both race and keep Shabbat.
You could tell by his letter that he really wanted to compete and be with his teammates, and this was going to be the last time he would get to do it.
Several weeks later, the decision was made. The 2022 state championship race would be on a Sunday.
I was really proud of him for just taking the initiative to write a letter, and the fact that it came through just reinforced the idea that you can make positive change, and why not go for it if you can?
Runner set.
Over the first 2.6 miles, Oliver ran a steady race towards the middle of the pack.
Let's go, Oliver!
As he arrived at the home stretch, just half a mile was between him and a state title.
Last straightaway, your cross-country career. What are you gonna do? Go get him! Let's go!
And in first place with 35 points is Charles E. Smith.
I felt great I was able to race this time, and like we were all together, like not like last time we were like kind of torn apart.
My heart broke for him last year. Seeing him here, how much he wanted to be part of this, it was incredible to see the difference this year.
To be able to like make my own decisions in life and to like show what I believe in and stand firm in that, it means that like I'm independent and that I choose my own path.